All right. What's up, boys? Third Man In, episode 3, live. We got the crew back together for third episode. What's going on, guys? Tom, how we doing?
We're back. We're back. What's going on, everyone?
Is that a Michigan shirt?
Jim Harbaugh gave it to me himself, dude.
Cat's out of the bed with Strop's location.
Drop coming from a secret location.
Strop's coming
I
in.
love that, yeah. Mariggs, what's going on, guy?
What's up, boys? Just chilling. Episode Blink 180, Tom DeLong, Dumpweed.
Hey, it's been a busy weekend for a lot of us, I think, right? Some of us went to some concerts. Some of us met some celebrities. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Trop, you meet any celebrities? I don't know what he's talking about.
I did not.
Trop, I want to know what Trop.
Yeah, what was Strop's weekend like?
I didn't get invited to Saratoga, so.
I know Kook took my spot, so it makes me feel better that I was ahead of Kook. Let's not.
Dude, Kook. No, you should not feel good about that. Kook is a puddle 24/7.
Yeah, but I still got the invite over him. That's like, I got the 8 cal seal of approval. That that means a lot in my book. Randy Hojo.
Trop, who gets more in one? Dan Cook or Connor Walker?
Oh my God, that's. I haven't drinking with Connor Walker. Drinking. I haven't. Whatever. Drank. I haven't drank with Connor Walker in a long time. So I'd say Kook because
he's an absolute unit.
That and he just doesn't remember anything he does, and so everyone else knows everything that he did, and he's just like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
And Allie always finds out. Always.
And I feel like Connor's just Kook's a degenerate too, but Connor's just he's just rock bottom.
Wow.
And he beat that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, we cannot emphasize that enough. Yeah.
I always end up getting Snapchats from Allie. Tell Daniel to answer his phone now.
Shrub, give me a rundown of your weekend. Well, what happened? Anything eventful? What's going on?
I'm trying to look at my calendar from afar.
Ask Alexa.
Actually, I went to Long Island on Sunday. I didn't hit on my rigs, though.
Oh, yeah. I hate to hear that.
I'm not even hurt.
I'm hurt for you.
I mean, it was for work. I was supposed to work the Red Bulls game on Saturday, but inclement weather, so I did not go.
They gotta get a dome on that place. What the fuck?
No, they play soccer in any weather.
Oh, yeah, they battle all elements out there.
I saw.
Mariggs, what's going on with you?
I saw Panic at the Disco on Friday. It was me and a bunch of 14-year-old girls.
Wait, they're not even old enough to know good Panic at the Disco songs.
No, they don't know the good Panic at the Disco. They know the current Panic at the Disco. My Sins comes on and they're like, "Oh, that's the old stuff." I'm like, "Holy fuck!" I know I know 2 songs and that's one of them, and the other one's like a sing along. It was good. Test drove a Tesla on Saturday, whipping it around. That was pretty cool.
Dude, how awesome is it? You don't even have to press the brakes; it just stops when you just throw the gas.
For you, it drives you. I put it on autopilot. I went like this, and it just drove on the fucking highway. Dude, it just drove like there was a little guy inside with a fucking camera steering the car. It was amazing. And I went 0 to 80 in 3 seconds. I drove the fastest one they had, not by choice, but not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
The guy's like, "Be careful getting out of the parking lot." I tap it. I was across the street already. So that was cool. Uneventful Sunday. I had Marge out for the weekend. Stayed over.
Pylon.
Strop says he's a pylon. No, he's probably my best offensive defenseman here. We're waiting for some Fisher blood to come back.
He's still a defenseman.
Marge is gonna play defense probably because I'm gonna make him.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that's it for the weekend, boys. I think we have a more important story coming from Saratoga.
Woo!
Saratoga.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll save the best story for last though. I mean, let me get to my weekend because just trying to blow it over.
Mark had was Weezer played Africa. It's not even their song.
No, they did. They played Africa.
Yeah, they played Africa,
dude.
Oh wait! Africa played before the Panic concert too, right before they came on stage. And these like 12-year-old girls are ripping, like,
oh boy,
going in. They were literally going into Africa. I'm like, holy fuck! Like how? This song's gonna come back. This song's like got like probably like 1 million plays this year or this week.
I will say it's like very good live. I didn't expect Weezer to be that good live, but I had a good time. Very they did a very good job because I know all their songs, and
did they play Beverly Hills?
They did. That was their second song.
How's that live? Good.
It was good. Yeah, I think the other songs were better though. There's a lot of clowns in the audience though. I mean, we had Miller. We ran into Kush.
Oh boy, sincerest apologies there.
Yeah, no, it was fun. We're sitting in the audience, and like this guy with like chicken finger basket comes up to our group, and he's like, "Yo," and we're like, "What's up, dude?" And he was like, "And you guys got a dab pen?" I was like, we were like, "No, why?" He was like, "I'll trade you a chicken finger for it." And we're like, "No, you can go ask one of the other groups down there." And like he stares at like Chris Crenshaw, who was in our group, stares at him for like a solid 5 seconds, and just goes, "Are you Elijah Wood?" And like we're like, what? Like this guy's absolutely a puddle. Like he's a mess. Like, but if you look up a picture of Elijah Wood, I didn't. Yeah, if you look up a picture of Elijah Wood, it looked exactly like Chris Crenshaw. It was actually pretty funny.
So he was spot on with his
yeah, I was shocked. I thought
Elijah Wood. Do you not know who Elijah Wood is?
No, Schropp. I'm not.
You don't watch Lord of the Rings?
Nah, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy.
He really does look like fucking Chris Crenshaw. I know who this dude is. I just didn't know his name.
Oh, Frodo.
Schropp's not too happy with that one. All right, let's get to the main story. Tom, tell us about your weekend.
Yeah. Oh man, what a time up in Saratoga, really in the middle of nowhere, New York, up there. But opening weekend, the horses are back, and so are the boys. The boys were full tilt all weekend, that's for sure. We had a good crew as well. Hung out with former NHLer Ryan Whitney for a lot of the weekend. We kept running into him. He was awesome. He was a really cool guy. We recognized him, so we went up to him. And just after that first time we saw him, we kept bumping into him all weekend. It's a small town, so you kind of run into like the same people, and like we know what he looks like. Obviously, we kept running into him. He's like, "Boys, like, what's up? What do we do? Like, what's the play?" We're like, "Oh, he was."
Did you inform him that you played puck?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Obviously, you do.
Hockey players know other hockey players too. Just the way we were talking to him and stuff like that. Oh my god, he was.
How did HL fit in?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So he was trying to play the horse card. You know, trying the horses.
Hold on, I have to bring up. I got beef with Marage. Marage's last episode said I don't play hockey, but little did he know, Schropp in the VPHL Classic last year.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry, Sean.
Oh yeah,
that's on me. Thank you for fact checking. We're trying to get better here every episode. I appreciate that. I'll never make that reference again. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. All love. Sorry, Tommy. Go on.
No, that's it. I mean, it was an awesome.
All right, you gotta give us some stories. Like you. First of all, I see the picture of this guy. If you don't know hockey, you think he's just some fucking bum walking up, walking around. He's like by himself and shit.
Oh my god, he's so funny. He was goofy.
That guy has a $30 million contract in the league.
Oh my god, he had so much more money than all of us.
Flat brim hat.
He was dressed. He was wearing a shorts and a t-shirt, just like kind of like whatever. Like we had to wear like dress shirt and pants just to get in anywhere. This is Ryan Whitney. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but I mean, oh my god. Yeah, no. And we would just like run into him, and like literally, like it was 2 a.m. on like Friday night, I guess, and just we're walking across. We were at the bar with him. We left, and then just an hour later, we just run into him. We just like literally bump into him. We're like, oh, he's like, dude, like where are we going now? We're like, don't go there. There's no girls.
Party.
We're like, don't go there. There's no girls there. He's like, no, really? He's like, oh, we got to turn around then. And he walked the other way.
Did he buy you guys any drinks?
No, but we bought him drinks.
No way!
Oh my god, my man's got a $30 million contract.
He's like, why are you guys buying me drinks? This is ridiculous. He's like, nah, wait, please. We insist.
Oh my God, we're scrapping together fucking dollars over here. This guy can write a check to buy the bar.
Oh my God.
No, absolutely funny.
He just go by himself.
No, it was his brother's bachelor party, so they had a whole crew actually.
How bad is his Boston accent?
It's not nearly as bad as like RA, for example, but his brothers look very like similar. Like totally like at first you see all three, it's like, wait a minute. It's like, okay, I know which one is him, but you have to think about it. Like they look like alike. They're both tall, they're both
all big.
Both wearing the Red Sox t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a great time though. We'll go get into some more later. I say we dive in here. What do you say, boys?
I want to hear some wit stories.
Dude, we'll break it up here a little bit. I don't want to pound at everything with wit, and
we'll close with it. We'll give them a reason to listen.
There you go.
All right, we'll close with it. So, over the past week, we missed a couple. Over the past week, we missed some signings in the NHL. So I guess we'll start off with that, since there's not that much to talk about in the NHL other than these signings. Jimmy Vesey signed a 2-year, $2.275 AVA deal. Let's just talk about that for a second. Now, Jimmy Vesey, he's barely gets 30 points in his first 2 seasons, but he puts up over 15 goals a year. I don't know. I'll start with Tom because he's been watching him up close for the most part out of the 3. What do you think about that signing? Do you think it's a good deal for them?
Yeah, absolutely. 2-year deal where would you say 2.275? I think it is. I mean, reasonable price for sure. I mean, has he earned it yet? I mean, maybe not, but I mean, it's for 2 years. It's probably worth a shot. I mean, I think he's only getting better. You can argue, and the potential is there. So for 2 years, for only 2.275, knowing their cap situation, they had plenty of cap room. I don't mind it at all. I think the fact that it's only a 2-year deal gives him a little more motivation. It's not a 3 or 4 year deal where he's locked up, a little longer. So expect him to play like a contract year, I would say. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I agree. That's a good point because there's nothing that says that they can't re-sign him after next season if he blows up this year. So I think he's definitely playing like a contract year. And like you said, he hasn't really proven that much, but you can see the potential's there. So I think he's a Ranger for a long time, no matter what. But I think he still needs to play like it's a contract year as well.
Yeah, and Tom, I know I was talking to you about it. I was a little scared when I saw the price because I thought 2 would have been his max for only putting up 30 points a season. But it's only been 2 years that he's been in the league, and I looked at the term and we talked about it. Only 2 years. He has to prove it. He can't make it depends how he does in these 2 years. This is his bridge contract. It depends. He can make more, but we'll have to see from him. But we'll move on across the way into New Jersey. They signed Blake Coleman to 3 years, 1.8 a year, and then Stefan Nason to a 1 year, 1.75. Now let's talk to the Devil guys, Dan Schropp and Riggs. What do you guys think about those role players getting signed?
Go ahead,
role players playing roles. Now Blake Coleman is he's a guy I like from just like afar. Like he might not you might not always see him doing like out there like doing great work, but he's like sneakily good in my opinion. And he's always there. Like Devils don't really have like any like enforcer, but he's kind of like a wild card. Like he'll throw at anyone. He's not afraid. He doesn't take shit. And he puts up some points. And Nason, he kind of goes under the radar too. I think there were 2 good signings. Like they role players playing roles. I'll give it out to Marids.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. Coleman's exactly what Schropp says. He goes out there, works hard. He scored one of the nicer goals, probably a top 5, top 10 goal this year against the Penguins. That just goes to show you that he's out there working. He's not the most skilled guy, but he's still can pull off a nice move like that. And then, Nason's very similar. You only have him for 1 year, and I think that's fair. He scored, an important goal for the Devils in the playoffs when the game that they beat the Lightning. I happened to be there, and it was on the same side of the ice that I was sitting on. I can't even tell you how electric that place was when he scored that one-timer on Vasilevsky. So I mean, just for that alone, I think he deserves a contract because it's been 6 years since there's playoff hockey in New Jersey, and that place was fucking electric when he was there. But like Schrupp said, role players playing roles. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna overperform, but I also don't think they're gonna underperform because they're out there working hard, and I think you're paying them what they deserve, and no more, no less. I think those are good prices and good contracts on both of them.
Yeah, like you said, Murray, it's like the right price. When I was looking at these two contracts, I thought, it's a good price for them. They have a ton of cap room, but they're utilizing the cap room in the right way because they know they're going to have to re-sign like Nico Hischier and Taylor Hall in 2 years. So they're planning for the future. I thought those are two good signings for them.
Yeah, it's tough as a Devils fan if you just pause for a sec, just because everyone's jumping down our throats like, oh, you guys got to make moves. Shiro's not making any moves. I think it's tough to play the waiting game, but I think in the end it's worth it because, like you said, we have that cap room, but we do have to sign those guys in a couple of years. So it's hard to not jump on a lot of these big free agents, but they may not work out. And typically that's the Devils' play, and it's definitely Ray Shiro's play. And for him, it's worked out. So I'm willing to be patient. And I know next year may not be our year, but I think you're building towards a solid future.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see how they pan out. I think that they were, like I said, good signings. We'll shift over to the Western Conference a little bit. Now, this guy, Chris Tierney, signed 2 years, $2.93 a year. Now he's been on the up and coming. He's a role center for the San Jose Sharks. He's been in the league for 4 seasons now, and he reached 40 points this previous year. He's only getting better. I thought it's another bridge contract what we mentioned with VC. He's only going to get better, and the team's getting better around him. I think it's a very good signing for them at a right price. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I can hop in there. Like you said, it's a good bridge contract, and it's a good depth player for this team. And this is something this team needed. You could say there's a lot of superstars on the Sharks right now, and it's really about filling those bottom six. And Tierney could be a really good bottom six. He could be a top third line center in the league, I think, or even fourth. I know he's been up and down, through to the AHL, back to the NHL, but that's also because the Sharks have been a very deep team for a long time. But like you said, he's coming off a 40-point year. I think he's only getting better. Like you said, been there four years in the system at this point. He knows these players pretty well. So I definitely expect him to have a good year. It's a good signing.
Maurice or Schrupp, do you guys want to chime in there? Do you guys know anything
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you guys are saying. It's just, it's tough in this league. You don't really want to overextend yourself because these top guys are getting paid, I think, quicker than the salary cap is moving up. So, to be trying to pay guys $11 million a year, some of the top guys in the league are making that much money. When the cap isn't moving like other sports as quickly as it is there, it's tough to manage this cap. And when you can find a guy and pay him the right price and you agree on the deal, I think you just got to go for it because I think when you're trying to re-sign these bigger players who deserve the 9, 10, 11 million a year, it doesn't really allow you to do something like, if you're the Yankees or, the Golden State Warriors signing guys to $40, $50 million contracts a year. So, especially that was more basketball, but so I think that's my take on it. I think the NHL is at a slowly growing pace, but I think the important part is growing. I think if it continues to grow, you'll start to see those numbers increase. And I think people are starting to watch it more. I think it's a much more popular sport than it was a couple of years ago. So with the growth of the game comes, all those endorsement deals and TV contracts, and you'll start to see the salary cap rise.
Yeah. And speaking of salary cap rising, we'll go to our next guy, Matt Dumba, defenseman for the Minnesota Wild. Now, he signed 5 years, $6 million a year. He had a career year, I think 50 points this season, which he's a solid defenseman, but I'll start with we'll start with Tom because I know he's a defense. We're both defensemen, but do you think he deserves $6 million?
It's tough to say, and I don't think you can put a hard answer on it either way. When you look at it at first, excuse me, when you look at it at first, it's kind of like, wow, $6 million, that seems like a lot. And has this guy really proven it yet at this point? I think this guy's got a lot of skill, and he's absolutely a top 4, if not a top pair defenseman, I think, or can be, especially offensively. He's got the skill. 5 years at $6 million. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy deal. I mean, for $6 million, he made out great for sure. You just kind of wonder about this team. This team's in a weird spot right now where they've had the same core of guys, it seems like, for a little bit, and they really can't get over that hump. So maybe we're looking for them to make some sort of change. Dumba's one of those guys who's been rumored for years at this point to have been moved, but I mean, now he's going to be here for the next 5 years. I mean, we'll see if he comes up in any trade rumors, but I think he's got high skill. Expect him, on the power play. Less Suter on the power play. I feel like Suter's more of a stay-at-home guy, even though they give him power play time. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Schwab, you want to jump in there?
I was gonna say, I mean, like, just watching from afar, Matt Dumba is he's a nice player. He's a little risky at sometimes. Sometimes shows off the grid, but I liked his offensive skill, and I just didn't know that he was only 23 years old. So it's a nice contract for him. And I mean, if Minnesota got him at the right price, it's a nice deal.
Yeah, I think the deal's about potential there. I actually didn't know he was 23 as well. So that's a
around for a while.
Yeah, that's a young guy getting a big contract. Obviously, he deserves it, but good for him. And then Minnesota's banking on their future. Trying to build a team out there. So locking that guy up for a long time is probably the smart move on there. And if they think he's going to progress.
Yeah, and like Tommy mentioned too, it's all that core group making like all that money, especially like Zach Parise and stuff like that. Nino Ryder, it's tough for them. They can't get over that hump. I think it's that group. They need to like just disband everything and redo that. But I don't know. We'll see. But going back to Matt Dumba, he's a great. Like Schwab said, he's very young. 50-point season. He's been a plus. I think he's never been a minus in his career. But a lot of upside, so we'll see. Now, speaking of, does a defenseman deserve a good price? Now, Jacob Trouba had arbitration with the Winnipeg Jets in the league. Now, Jacob Trouba wanted $7 million, and the arbitrator actually just made it set at 5.5. They met in the middle. What do you guys think about that? Like the whole situation with Jacob Trouba, how he wanted to get traded a year or two ago, and then now they went to the finals, stuff like that. Now he's getting paid. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, obviously, the rumors were he wanted to get traded. Nobody really knows the full story there. But then all of a sudden they're good, and it's like, all right, now he's like thinking about it. So obviously he's going to want to stay. But I mean, he had a weird year last year, if I'm not mistaken. Like he was banged up for most of the year, so I don't even know how to kind of fully evaluate.
He only played like 50 games, but I want to say it was like around 25 points in 55 games.
Yeah, he was banged up most of the year. He's a really good player. This is a big year. I mean, he's got 1 year, obviously playing in a contract year. I think this is a big year to establish himself if he's trying to get that $7 million. Which I mean, for the Jets is it's perfect too. You would expect the best out of him coming off an injury. He's going to be fully healthy, fully motivated to get that next contract. So definitely expect a lot out of the Jets this year. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, no, and he's like you say, he's very skilled and he's very big too, if I'm not mistaken. He's like he's got to be over like 6'2", 6'3". And you know what? That whole blue line core, that reminds me of the Blues core, D-core. They're all big and like Tyler Myers and Dustin Byfuglien compared to like Pietrangelo and Jay Bouwmeester. I think it's like good to have a big defenseman like that who's very skilled offensively, can lay the body in the corners. But Schropp or Maurice, you want to chime in here?
I'll jump in. Like Tommy said, I think that the Jets are going to be on the up and up as well. Obviously they were great last year. They're just getting older and more experience, and you got Hellebuyck locked up back there. Obviously Laine and Scheifele, they all speak for themselves. But I think you got to lock down the D-core in this league, and a team like the Devils, who maybe had the offensive talent, and the Islanders, who had the most goals for in the league this year. I think between those two teams, you can just it's pretty easy to tell that offense is not winning games in this league. So to lock down D and maybe get them in have a good year and then lock them up for a couple more years after that, I think that's a good spot for Winnipeg to be in.
Yeah, no, good points. Yeah, so he's only got the 1 year deal for 5.5, and then we'll see after that. He's technically restricted free agent following that, so we'll just see if the off ice contract negotiations, the struggles and stuff like that, continue for him in the future. But that's about it for the NHL boys. Now, Schropp, we're going to be going to you a lot. We're going to shift over to the NBA now. The whole situation with Kawhi Leonard, take me through that. What's going on?
So Kawhi got traded to the Toronto Raptors, and I gotta go on a quick rant here. Sorry. Here we go.
Please, no, please. I want you to.
I am so annoyed by NBA, like Twitter, NBA Reddit. Like I gotta turn my Bleacher Report notifications off because
never mind.
Go. It's gonna be a long one.
Jump in when you can.
No, go, fire.
Go.
I was gonna say you get Bleacher Report notifications, but please go on.
It's just the NBA, but so Kawhi gets traded to the Raptors, and everyone's like, "Oh, like what's gonna happen?" Like, no one's even thinking about this year. Everyone's thinking, "Oh, is he gonna stay?" Bro, he just got traded to a new team. Hasn't even played. You don't even know if he's gonna play. Like, everything's just so annoying. Like, shut up. And then the fact that like they're just like, at first when the news leaked, they're like, Kawhi, whoever these sources are, you know what I mean? When you read online where it says sources, these sources say, "Oh, Kawhi doesn't want to. There's no chance he's going to stay in Toronto." And then I read something today that this source, quote unquote, source from San Diego State, where Kawhi went to college, leaked that Kawhi is going to stay in Toronto. Like, he's definitely going to stay. Like, dude, like I said before, hasn't even played a game, hasn't even suited up. It's freaking July, and these people are talking about next year. Like, just enjoy the year. Kawhi is on the Raptors now. It's a whole different squad, and that because DeRozan went to the Spurs, so and they have a chance to win the Eastern Conference because LeBron's not there to sweep the Raptors again. So just fire up the cannons. Get to work and beat the Celtics and Sixers and win the Eastern Conference, and then maybe you can see next July if Kawhi will re-sign with you. Sorry, I'm done.
Great job, Schropp.
Wow,
I love the NBA rants. I love it.
I mean, he's accurate with everything in that statement.
Oh, 100%. That's why I'm saying it. It's all fucking true.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'll talk about the actual trade now. I think the Spurs got a good return. They got DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, who just he's a second or third year center from Utah. He's got some potential, and they got a protected pick, so it could help them out. But the Spurs are still kind of in win now mode because of they don't know how much longer Greg Popovich, their coach, is going to stay there. So Greg Popovich kind of just has this. He's at that point in his career where they're not going to rebuild. So he's
okay.
Is that a win now team though, Schropp? Can they even survive in the West at all?
They're kind of a mixed team. So they have DeRozan, they have LaMarcus Aldridge, who's a pretty seasoned vet, and they have 40-year-old Pau Gasol, but they still have some young guys. They have this young guy, Dejounte Murray, who's a pretty good, nice shooting guard, and they have some nice little young pieces they can work around that they just drafted. So I feel like they have this mixed veteran and youth and young group. So I'm interested to see how they do. I think they should still be a 40-45 win team in my mind. That would probably be good 4, 5, 6 seed in that range. Yeah. I don't see them contending, but you never know.
Yeah, no, I mean, good points. Now, DeMar DeRozan was obviously the big name from Toronto that got traded. Now, I've been seeing on Twitter all these social media things. Schropp, I remember we texted in a group chat about it, but does he deserve a statue outside of the Raptors stadium?
I want to know this.
I mean, I didn't realize how much that he's done. But apparently, in Raptors fans' eyes, he's one of their best, if not their best player in franchise history. I think he's been around for 8, 9, or 10 years. If you think about notable players that came from the Raptors, like Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, those guys didn't stay very long. So DeMar DeRozan, like, I mean, he obviously planned to stay there his whole career, but he got traded. So I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as statue, but I think they have a valid argument.
Yeah. So you're saying that they have an argument, like, because like
I mean,
the thing I'm looking at is like there's not really championships. I mean, there wasn't like I don't know how deep playoff runs were with him, but
are we giving statues out now though for being loyal? I don't, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but like I know he means a lot to his city, but like you could argue that for a lot of players, and you know what?
I feel like that's just one of those things that they said, like, oh, like you're leaving. Let's just say something like really nice about him, like knowing that it won't really happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. But we know LeBron's didn't win in LA, so hot take.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. All right. So let's shift out west then. So apparently Carmelo Anthony is a whole mess with him or something like that. Like, now he's going. Like they're saying that reports that he's going to go to the Rockets or something like that. Trop.
Yeah. So he got traded to the Hawks. There was a 3-way trade. I forgot the team: OKC, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. So OKC got a guard from Atlanta, like their starting point guard, and one of like the Sixers reserves. Atlanta got Carmelo and like something else, and the Sixers got like one of Atlanta's like bench players. But Atlanta, like the thing is, like in basketball at least, I mean this is in every sport, but basketball I find it more common is that you can dump like expiring or soon to be like big contracts on teams. And then that team in return will give you a nice like pick. Like Atlanta's not very good, so OKC gave up a nice pick for Atlanta. That would make sense to take on Carmelo's contract because he makes like $28 million, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
so Carmelo is signing with presumably going to sign with the Rockets for a league minimum, which is like $2 million, which is a nice chunk, but he's still going to make that 28 from OKC. So I mean, he could literally sign for nothing and still be a millionaire.
I saw an article. It was insane. It was like he gets paid $28 million or whatever it is, then gets to sign a contract and gets to pick between whatever it was, Houston, LA, and Miami. I think the 3 teams were. The guy's fucking living a life.
Yeah, Schropp. Now, looking at like Melo, if he does decide to sign for the Rockets, does that push the Rockets like ahead of any other team in the West? Like, because obviously you're talking about the Lakers, Warriors, and stuff like that, and the Rockets were probably the biggest competition for the Warriors last season. Yeah. Does that push them further, or?
As of now, I would say no, because I mean it's going to be hard for Houston to just run it back like it was last year. Like, you know what I mean? Like year to year, it's going to be different. And Melo last year was just he was abysmal for the Thunder. And so, I mean, like if he could, the problem is I don't know exactly like what's going to happen, but he doesn't want to come off the bench. He thinks he's still 25. So, I mean, I think he would be a nice spark off the bench, like just because, like he would be a nice spark just because he's a scorer. That's what he is. That's what he's always been. That's what he's going to be. So, like, and the Rockets just chuck up threes. So you just put him on the block and he'll knock down some jumpers. But I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think that does not propel them over the Warriors or any other team in the West. Or not other teams, I'm saying. Not the Warriors, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough. Lastly on the NBA topic, Schropp, I'm not sure if you put this in there, but Michael Beasley to the Lakers 1 year, was it $3.5 million?
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of note this out. It's just kind of funny because, like, you guys know Michael Beasley, like, he was nasty in college, and, like, now he's just had, like, this so mediocre NBA career. And, like, I just wanted to point it out that, like, the Lakers are literally, like, giving, like, pretty big money to, like, all these, like, random players. And, like, they just have, like, it's kind of like the longest yard when Adam Sandler has, like, all those random people. It's kind of like LeBron's literally – I don't know if LeBron's doing it, but literally they're just signing, like, these most random people, like Rondo and whoever else they signed. But they're just a bunch of, like, randoms. Like, they're just, like, a whole group of, like, just slap it to the other team. You know what I mean?
The name game didn't work though for LeBron last season. You get D Rose and Wade, and it's like, holy fuck, that team's great in 2008.
Yeah.
But like
in 2008, yeah.
I mean, like you get all those big name players. They come out, and halfway through the season, they're both gone. You know, I don't know what LA's thinking. I don't know what Magic Johnson's thinking, and I don't know the ins and outs of the NBA. But in my eyes, you're just doing what Cleveland did last year, and I wouldn't be surprised halfway through the season if Rondo's on the fucking Knicks or something.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like a throwaway year for the Lakers. Just like it's his first year, LeBron's first year, and they're gonna try and see like exactly like they're not gonna be able to pretend immediately with the Warriors. So I kind of just think it's just like throw it together and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a good feel out process for them, I think.
Can we talk about? Oh god,
I was gonna say, is LeBron okay with that? Like,
yeah, that's
it out for a year. Like, I just cannot see him being okay with that.
I think he is because he went to LA. He didn't go to LA to win championships immediately. Like, if his best shot to win would be to go to Houston, stay in Cleveland, or you never like his best option to win was not Los Angeles.
You thought Cleveland, if he stayed in Cleveland, he would have had a better shot. Well, I guess
yes,
he's in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and one can argue if the Cavs win Game 1 that they had a good shot of winning.
Yes, I still think
I don't know about
lose, but I think it goes like 6 maybe.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I retweeted Joe Thomas's tweet to give out a free jersey, so I was kind of pissed that they lost the series. Not gonna lie.
I just want to talk about for a sec, like the hate that he's getting in LA. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm on the LeBron side, so you know, if anything, I don't really see the other side. But like, this guy's the fucking best player in the league. Could you imagine like McDavid coming to the Rangers and you guys like fucking drawing all over his murals in New York City? Like, it's like insane what's going on down there. Like, it's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's coming to LA to try and win you championships. And you're like, we don't want him. Fucking take Lonzo Ball, take all the balls, fucking get LeVar out there, and go fucking live in LA. It's a goddamn joke. Like, you get the greatest gift that any team's ever gotten, and you guys are spray painting his murals. I hope they really name the Lakers the fucking Los Angeles Balls, and LeBron goes and wins in like fucking, I don't know, Miami again.
Golden State.
I don't know. Any thoughts on the LeBron hate out in LA?
No, I'm a little like confused. Like, I don't know too much about it. Why they're getting hate or why he's getting hate and stuff like that. Like, because like you said, it's like he's the best player in the world clearly, and I just didn't get it. Like, shouldn't you just be happy? Like, and he's gonna teach these young guys what to do. I don't know.
Ungrateful.
Yeah. All right, Shrop, before we move on, is there any other like NBA news you wanted to just get out, rant about, or?
No, I'm good.
All right, we'll shift over to the MLB then. So, big trade happened. Manny Machado went to the Dodgers. What do you guys think about that? Like, is that good? Like, is that pushing the Dodgers like further for that run again, or?
Tom, you want to jump in?
I mean, I think they're absolutely, they should be the favorite in the NL West again. And in general, the NL, I mean, I think it's much more wide open than the AL. There are some good teams in the NL, but there's no like real powerhouses, right? Like, what are you gonna talk like? Or the Nationals, they're right now, the Cubs, right? Am I missing something? But I think this definitely puts them up there to be one of the National League favorites for sure. This shows that they're serious too. They gave up 5 prospects. I don't really know much about the prospects. Schropp might know a little bit more about that, but I mean, they gave up 5 prospects for this guy too. So it seems like they're in it. And I think down the stretch here, I think it'll definitely pay off for them, and we'll see if it makes a difference in October. Manny doesn't have a ton of October experience. I know the Orioles went a couple years, but they never made any runs of any sort. But they got there, so.
Yeah, sure. Mariggs, you want to hop in?
I was just gonna say, you're replacing Seager out there, shortstop who's getting surgery after the season. So I think they're like Tommy said, they're serious. I think they easily go back to the World Series. It just depends on who they face. Presumably the Red Sox, if you're looking at the season, right, they just don't lose, right? But, who knows? The Astros have that magic. They know how to play. So I think you're looking at the Dodgers versus the AL, if you're asking my opinion. I don't think the Mets are coming back anytime soon, so definitely the Dodgers. Drop anything from you?
I think it definitely makes them the NL favorites for sure. Machado, obviously not a low life in any perspective. Seager, interested to see what happens with him. I'm not sure when his deal's up, but I mean, you could make a case for obviously either of those guys. You're not going unless you put Machado back to third. Then what happens with Justin Turner? Blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm more concerned. Obviously, it's a great move for the Dodgers, but I'm more concerned about their pitching. Kershaw hasn't been. His back is a ticking time bomb, in my opinion. So I'm nervous about that.
Dude, he's on my fantasy team. He's been banged up all year. Yeah. Holy hell!
And yeah, they don't really have their pitching isn't too locked down. And like, I know Walker Buehler is like one of their starters. He's pretty good, but he's on I think he's on an innings limit. So like, it's just I'm gonna be interested to see. They're definitely gonna have to add an arm here to go all in. I mean, Magic Johnson goes all in for the Lakers. He better go all in for the Dodgers too.
Yeah, good point there. But yeah, no, I mean they look scary in the NL. I mean, any other teams that like stand out. I mean, like the Cubs are like up there, and then the Brewers.
Kind of mediocre.
Yeah, that's what it like looks like. I mean, the Pirates are up and coming. I think they're 10-0. It actually, it says they're 10-0 in the last 10. Brewers have been
the Indians tonight.
Yeah, which is like all right, like interesting to see. But yeah, the NL, like you guys said, it's very like wide open. But we'll have to see like how the Machado trade like transpires in the next couple of weeks. Now we'll talk about the trade deadline approach. When we wrap up the MLB, we'll talk about our all-star picks. But now we'll talk about the trade deadline. I saw like a couple names that are being thrown around because the trade deadline is like I think it's next week or something like that. Matt Harvey apparently is on the trading block again.
Nationals.
Oh my God!
Is that like a thing?
I heard that a little ways back that he might end up in Washington. I don't have great sources. I would kill myself, so this may be my last episode. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It's too soon for me to talk about Harvey. I don't really have like a good opinion on him in terms of what he's worth and where his fucking mind's at and where his work ethic's at. Such a sour taste in my mouth from 2015 to now. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's not like the Reds are going anywhere. So if they can get something for him, that's a good deal for them.
Yeah, he was just one of the names that I saw on like social media feeds and stuff. Tom and Schraub might know a little more about who's like being looked out for. Like, is that like how about like Britton? Is Britton still on the block, guys?
He's definitely gonna get traded, I think. Right, Trump? Britton will definitely go.
Yeah, I was just going to add in that Britain, like with Brad Hand getting dealt to the Tribe here, and the Tribe gave up a lot for him. And then Machado, the O's got a lot from Machado, and like now that you see the Astros, they still need a reliever because they have like Rondon, but Zach Britton's pretty good. The Red Sox are in on him. The Yankees say they're in on him. I'm not sure what's happening. I got kind of nervous with that Chapman thing. I mean, but like besides any of these teams in these AL and the Dodgers too, and I think the Brewers and the Cubs are in on them. Like literally every like team in the hunt is in on him. So it's just gonna be interesting to see who's gonna give up the most for him because like in the postseason you need big relievers like him.
Strop, you talking about Chapman when he walked the Mets around the bases.
16 balls and 3 strikes, yeah.
We lost, but I like to laugh a little. That's a win in my book. Is that sad?
Sad.
Very sad.
Before we rant about the Mets, because that's honestly our next topic. Like, Schraub, is there any other like big names or no? Is that like Britton's really like the biggest name for the most part?
I don't know. I'll be interested to see anyone. I mean, me personally, I'm interested to see what the Yanks do with the starting pitcher because they sent Severino didn't look good tonight, but hopefully like he'll still have it the rest of his year well. But they still need an arm. I think the Sox could use another arm. I think it's literally like I was saying before. It's literally like all these teams in the hunt are just going to start bulking up and just trying to add what they can.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm concerned with the Yankees back 5.5 games that we're going to be stuck in this shitty wild card game again, and then you never know what happens.
Yeah, literally anything could happen in one game.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. Because especially with the MLB, you never know who's going to get dealt. Just Brim was like the biggest name that I saw. But yeah, now let's rant about the Mets a little bit. So Syndergaard just went back on the DL with what is a hand, foot, and mouth disease, some contagious thing.
And Cespedes is both his ankles he needs surgery on. Can we explain that too? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it was like two ankles or something like that. And then Tim Tebow broke his hand, so there goes the whole marketing thing. They couldn't sell any jerseys if he got called up this year.
So now, why would anybody go to the games like in August?
Yeah, now there's no point.
I want to make it known that I owe Tommy a Mets birthday gift, tickets to a Mets game, and we're gonna postpone it probably to next season.
I was gonna say, I think it'd be a gift if he didn't give that to me.
Oh God, it is just a complete mess over there. Like, coming into the season, you didn't think that they would be this bad.
12 games in, you didn't think they were going to be this bad, did you?
Oh, yeah.
We're not talking about that at all.
I get it. Like, there's injuries, but that's only like a part of it because like the Mets have always had this issue with the injuries, of course. But Schropp, looking at it from not a Mets fan, what are you seeing? What's like?
I mean, I just have questions for you guys. I mean, at this point,
like, why are we still watching?
I'll ask questions at the end, but I'll give you my view. I just feel bad for you guys. It's a lot of pain to deal with. It's just so much disarray. Like, you just look at the team, and they have some nice pieces, and then they just go do Mets things. You know what I mean? Like Jeurys Familia. I mean, I was reading on Twitter, Jeurys Familia. Like, if they traded him a week and a half before the deadline. If you saved him until July 31st, you could have got a nice haul from any one of these teams in the hunt. Instead, they got a single A prospect and some other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, why would they? Yeah, I was so confused by that too. Because when he got traded, I was like, "Why are they rushing this?" It's like,
I don't know. And the questions I had was, well, I'm gonna say I don't know if you guys were watching the Sunday Night Baseball, but Olney said that Cespedes needs a surgery, and he said it could be more than a year. So do you guys just – I mean, obviously he's going to opt in because of the nice contract, but would you just buy him out at this point, or would you still keep him? And secondly –
All right, go ahead.
And secondly, sorry, I'll go. Do you want Mickey Callaway as the manager next year? I'm good.
I'll cover Cespedes real quick because it's a simple answer. I mean, it's just you can't – I don't think you can buy him out. I just think that – the Mets aren't good at anything.
32.
The Mets aren't good at anything, and they're not good at buying out. We still pay Bobby Bonilla. It's July 1st every fucking year. Like that's the most Mets thing I've ever seen in my life, and I don't trust them to do anything the right way anymore. So I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to cover the rest of that, and then if you want to go into Callaway, I'll chime in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could touch on Callaway. I mean, at this point, it's tough. I mean, I see both sides, I guess. I think for sure you got to give him the whole year. Just let it play out a little longer because who knows what the heck's going to happen these next couple months. He's had a bad stretch here, like, the last month or so where, he's made some questionable moves and people are calling for his head. Give him the rest of the year. Let's see, because obviously we know we're not going anywhere this year. See how it plays out. I mean, my feeling is there's going to be a new GM next year and the GM's going to want to have his own guy in here. So that's what I think is going to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen. Again, it depends on how these next couple months play out. I mean, and we'll see if anybody comes and stands up for him too. Maybe like some of the players will be like, we like this guy. I don't think I've heard any of that. I don't know about you guys, but like, has anybody come to his defense at any point?
Not really.
It's just a mess. Like, especially the moves he's been like, some of the questionable decisions he's been making. Like, it's just a mess. I don't know.
You just have the sense that they don't know what's going on because I don't know. Like Cespedes said, "Oh, I need the surgery," and then Callaway in the next press conference said, "I don't know." Like, he hasn't said anything to me, or I don't know if that's exactly what he said. But you know what I mean? He was just like,
"No, you're right. You're right."
Yeah. So it's just like you just wonder, like, what the fuck is anyone doing in that organization?
The frustrating part is they always seem to get hurt on like off the field unrelated issues, or like that what they're doing off the field is leading to these injuries. Like Cespedes was fucking squatting like 1,000 pounds. Why?
And he plays golf every day, right?
Yes, and
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Syndergaard's deadlifting 600 pounds. That's why he fucking tears his whole whatever he tore last year. And now it's just a joke now. Like he's gonna wake up and he's gonna have like, oh, sorry, I got circumcised today. Can't play. I don't understand what the fuck is gonna happen.
I don't think he should have came out and said that he got that disease. That's just literally another way to make fun of him. He should have just said, "Oh, he's not feeling good" or something. Like you know what I mean? Just
especially how contagious that is too. Like I just feel like it would have just been like fine, just saying, "Oh, like undisclosed or whatever, like illness," not the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll Venmo anyone $5 if they pronounce the disease.
I'm not even gonna try.
I'll hard pass on my book.
All right, fine. Drop.
I don't know what it is.
Oh God.
All right, I don't either. So.
All right. Now let's go over the All-Star game. We had some picks. Tom, you have those picks ready to go over?
I could pull them up real quick. Shouldn't be long. We all picked the All-Star game. So we picked AL, NL, over, under, and
then the MVP.
I can start with no one got the MVP. I'm pretty sure.
Nobody picked Bregman.
Gene Segura got robbed.
Who got robbed?
Gene Segura. He went 2 for 2 and had a 3-run homer.
Dude, Gene Segura is a man.
He's a beast.
He's
no one cares about the Mariners.
That's why he goes under the radar that much. Isn't he leading the league in batting average still?
Dude, he's been like top of the league in like a bunch of things the past 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's the man. He is.
All right, real quick. I'll run them down. Mariggs took the NL. They lost. He took the over. That hit. And he took Bryce Harper MVP, which is a good pick, but he didn't win the MVP. I'll tell you what, the over-under before we keep going here. I mean, if you watch that game or follow that game, the under looked good.
Real good. They were dialed in, baby.
Until the ninth inning. And then that was it. It exploded. You look at the final score, it was like, what, 8-7, 8-6?
Who had the under here?
Schropp had the under.
I had the under, too.
We all had the under.
Stop. I could not. All I heard was your voice, your quote saying the last 2 All-Star games have gone under. And I'm like, in the 7th inning, I'm like, this fucker, he's fucking pulling up this research. Like, we have no chance at the over. This is fucking ridiculous.
So, all in all,
yeah,
you guys each had 1 right. I had nothing right. So, Mariggs had the over that hit. Schropp had the AL that hit. Mark had the AL that hit. I had the NL under.
It's a Hall of Fame batting average. Not a big deal.
1 out of 3. That's right. I took Paul Goldschmidt for my MVP. I don't even know what he did in that game. But
like, can you guys even remember someone getting an RBI that wasn't a home run in an All-Star game? Because I really can't.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good point. I don't. Nothing comes in my head about that. Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
So, we'll wrap up the MLB for now, and then next week we'll touch more about the trade deadline and what else is going on. Now let's shift to a little NFL talk because training camps are getting started. A lot of players are reporting to camp. Now, big news in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of tension going on with Le'Veon Bell, star running back, arguably top 3 in the league. Not number 1 because we all know who number 1 is, obviously. But there's a lot of contract negotiations.
Isaiah Crowell?
No, I was going to go Jonathan Stewart, but
that's the Jets running back, Isaiah Crowell. But
yeah. But Le'Veon Bell is a whole contract issue, and apparently now after this season he's going to become a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. What do you guys think about that whole situation? Apparently, they were not that far off on price, but he's like just wants all the money.
He wants $17 million a year, if I'm not mistaken.
And apparently, they offered him like 15.
They offered him like 15 or 14 and a half, like, which is high for a running back. But I mean, I don't know, like. How many? Like, look at DeMarco Murray. That guy was one of the best running backs in the league a couple of years ago. And then
it goes like that. Yeah, you're right.
It's over. You can't even look to sign these guys long term because the average NFL career right now is like what? Like the average is like 3, but like these guys are getting 6, 7 years, and then that's it.
Well, especially running backs. The running back position is probably the quickest position like change in ever, right?
Yeah, it's got a high turnover there.
High turnover. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Drop. What do you think about the Le'Veon Bell situation?
I'm kind of on his side. Obviously, I'm pro players against the NFL because
the no fun league.
Yeah. But when you look at it, I mean, he has been one of the top producers, if not top producer, the past 3 years. It's just he's a little injury prone. He's missed games like all the Steelers do. But I think obviously, like what you take away from this is that he's trying to set the standard. Like he's doing what I was reading. He was doing what Kirk Cousins is doing. He's trying to set the standard. He's gonna like show his worth. Kirk Cousins played on a franchise tag 2 or 3 years in a row, and this is what Bell's gonna do. And then once he gets that big deal, fucker knows what's gonna happen. But he's trying to get that big deal, and
he's gonna get pulled over smoking pot again, and then he's gonna go to jail once he gets the big deal.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Him and Big LeGarrette Blount, Super Bowl champion. But I mean, there's no doubt that he is probably one of the top 3 most important players in the NFL in my mind.
Without a doubt, especially at that position.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Can we talk about LeGarrette Blount has back-to-back Super Bowls, right?
I think he has 3 Eagles and two Patriots.
But back to back.
Oh yeah, back to back. Yeah.
Is it 2 Patriots?
No, it's 1.
I think it was 1.
He didn't win one.
Did they win back to back?
I think he has. I think he has 1. He beat Atlanta. I don't think he was on the Seattle team, right? The team when he beat Seattle. He was?
No.
No, he wasn't.
Fact check.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
What?
XLI and LII.
Are those in order? I have no idea.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
That's when they beat. That was Malcolm Butler.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know he was on that team though. Wow. Okay. Interesting. God, that guy has 3 rings.
Jeez.
What a guy.
Now he's in Detroit. Now he's gonna die in Detroit.
I would die in Detroit for 3 Super Bowls. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, he's made a great career out of it.
That's a sick amount of Super Bowls.
No, the thing is, like, remember he was playing with the Steelers, and then he got cut, and then he signed with the Patriots, and then he won the Super Bowl. So
yeah. Harrison was trying to do the same thing, but it didn't work out.
Shout out Nick Foles.
Your boy, Nick Foles.
Oh, fuck.
Big Dick Nick.
Oh God!
All right, change the subject before I throw.
Yeah, no. All right, one more NFL thing is Darrelle Revis officially announced his retirement. Where did he finish last year? The Chiefs.
Yes, he was not good.
I believe so.
Well, yeah, he wasn't good. I just forgot what team.
However, I mean, it's really weird to think about it. Like, is he one of the best of all time? Honestly, like that's serious.
Go
think about it.
Arguably, yeah. If you look at his prime numbers, between when he was
the thing is, it's not even about the numbers too, because everybody's making the. I mean, I've seen this a couple places. You make the argument, people didn't throw to him, so it's almost like how do you even
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You know,
he was just so dominant that you're right.
People
compare a couple extra years out of these. Good.
I was gonna say when you're comparing him to Deion, people threw Deion got all these picks because people threw at him. No one threw at Revis because they knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do we take are we factoring that in that he's literally did he get a couple extra years out of not getting thrown to? You know what I mean? Did they fear him for too long? Is my point. I could be wrong. I'm just saying, like,
no, I don't think they feared him for too long. You know what I mean? Because then they ended up figuring it out later on. Because he was, as he got older, like obviously, like players decline, but when he went to the Bucks, right? Like his final years at the Jets, you could just tell like they were like, oh, okay, like we start throwing to him. But I don't think they waited too long. I thought it was the right. During that time, it was his prime, and he was just so dominant. Like just watching him play was ridiculous.
Yeah, just a couple career numbers: 145 games, 405, almost 500 tackles. I think it was 29 interceptions, and a couple of touchdowns in there too. On this three touchdowns. That's it. But yeah, I mean, and only 2 sacks, which is insane. But obviously, he's definitely up there in consideration for one of the best players at that position. Definitely.
Yeah, I just found it interesting because we look at him now as like the Buccaneer in chief that like wasn't that good because obviously it was the past couple of years. But if you actually really reflect on his prime years, and you could realize you could
if he never got traded to the Bucks, like he would have been like the Jets would have been. The Jets made a bad move, is what I'm trying to say.
Wasn't he like hurt, like or something? What happened with that?
He tore some. I think he was out for the year.
I think it was ACL.
Like, yeah, he tore his ACL.
Like,
was out for the year.
It was before the contract year, so like, oh, let's not pay. Or I think, right?
Yeah, and like the Jets went downhill after that too. So,
and now Woody Johnson is Donald Trump's right hand man.
Oh, God. Hey, Sam Darnold, don't worry, we're ready. I'm excited. I'm excited.
What's that over under?
6.
They're 5. No, they're 5.5. I thought.
Oh, 5.5. Wow.
Which is kind of scary. Like, I mean,
I think that's 1 win too high for the over under.
No, really? You're taking the under on
this
that?
to me. I'm
saying. I'm listening.
They won 5 games last year, and they were not good last year. Like, doesn't it make sense that they would win at least 1 or 2 more? Like,
I think they're over. I think they beat the Patriots in one of those games.
My only other argument, they do always play the Patriots tough. They should have won that game last year with the whole ball thing. It's a whole other story.
Safari and Jenkins.
Schropp, here's my thing too. Like, if you look at the AFC East over unders, it's like the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins. They're all like 5.5 or 6. You got to pick which team's going to go over because at least one of those is going over, right? Because one of them, they're not all going to be under 6. Just got to figure out which one it is. We're going to be Team Jets here, but that's strategy right there. Pick one of them. One of them's going on over.
I mean, they could technically all be under 6.
They could.
There's no shot. They play each other. I mean,
I know, but not enough time.
Wait, did Miami draft a quarterback?
Nah, dude, Tannehill.
No, they drafted
a quarterback.
Maybe in the later rounds, right?
I'm saying that'd be funny if everyone had a rookie QB except the Patriots. Starting.
That would be pretty funny. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually happy. I want to see how they do.
Yeah, I think definitely over 5.5.
Yeah. And then as training, like I said, training camp starting soon. So more week.
Talk about Johnny Manziel.
You want to talk about that? So Johnny Manziel's in the CFL. No, we can mention it. I mean, apparently
we can all go to Terrell Owens' Hall of Fame ceremony. He put it on Twitter, so we can all go to that place.
Fuck that guy. What a disgrace to the sport. Seriously. Okay. You go to the fucking Hall of Fame, get the fucking jacket, and get the fuck out of there. Like, now you're making it about you again, Terrell.
He should have been the first ballot, though, dog.
Oh, God, no. Too much popcorn.
Schropp, what do you think? Do you think he should have definitely been the first ballot?
Skill wise, yes, but now I mean, obviously I don't have a vote, but all these voters just voted him down because he was a locker room cancer. I mean, which he was. But skill wise, he's got one of the best receivers ever. So in that, I mean, no one else has been not voted into the Hall of Fame, which is not their skill. You know what I mean? So I think he should have gotten first ballot, but people hold this ballot against him, which I don't blame them for, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like he might actually be number 2 in receiving yards. I know that. I don't know about. I think Randy Moss is second in touchdowns though, but yeah, you can make the argument for first ballot, and like you said, like the locker room issues obviously were a problem. So they that's obviously the reason why he didn't get in first. But yeah, so I guess we'll move on. We'll get the wrap up here. We'll talk a little bit about the Open and golf with Tiger Woods before we finish up. We close out here. Guys, what did you see from the Open with Tiger Woods? The Italian guy won, right?
Yeah, Francesco Molinari. Your 2018 champion golfer of the year, as they like to call him.
the Italian guy.
I didn't know his name.
First Italian ever to win a major. Ever.
Wow, fun fact.
Yeah, so that's a hot take. Part number 2 is I had Spieth, Rory, Dustin.
Disappointed in Dustin.
And one more. But Spieth and Rory had a chance on Sunday.
Both did, right?
I had Spieth at like fucking +2. What was it? +2,000? I had him at +2,000.
I thought Rory was gonna go on a run. Honestly, just him being like, oh, like that's from over there. Like I thought he was gonna like.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna pull through.
Rory, I just feel like Rory's always that guy that chokes.
Ever since Rory and Caroline Wozniacki broke up, he hasn't been the same.
No, he's won since then.
Oh, has he? I don't know.
Yeah.
He won like
I'm just starting shit.
He won a lot after that. Like they broke up and he won like 2 tournaments.
Not the Masters though.
No,
is he running out of time to win a Masters or what?
No.
How old is he? I'm looking it up.
He's 30.
He's got to be like around like early.
Run out of time, Mark. He's 29.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of young up and coming golfers like, and he has a track record of blowing it in the Masters every.
Well, I'll tell you what, your boy Ricky Fowler's not winning anytime soon.
I think
I'll agree with you. It doesn't look like it.
Rory wins a major before Ricky does. Rory wins another major before Ricky wins his first.
Team Ricky.
I am too. But like, I think Spieth is up.
Well, like major, yeah, I can see. I can probably see that. But I'm talking like Masters.
Spieth has 2 more Masters in him. He's gonna have 3 overall.
Yeah, yeah.
He should have had back-to-back.
He should have, yeah, but
I was there.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, I was there when Spieth the year. So my first year at the Masters, he won my first year at the Masters. So that was his. I guess that was his first one. It was so he ran. Actually, that was so 2015. Tiger was playing. Phil was playing. Rory, Dustin, Spieth. They were all within the last like 4 or 5 pairings. So we literally just picked a hole and just watched that group come through, and it was spectacular. I mean, if Jordan wasn't there, I think he finished like 18 under. To win, and it was a landslide, obviously. Tiger made a run on Sunday. Phil made a run on Sunday. I think Rory made a run on Sunday. So if Jordan was actually removed from that picture, it would have been a super, super exciting finish. But he won easily. We didn't even go to the 18th green. We went back to like the back like bar area. We had like the VIP NASDAQ treatment that weekend. So we went back and watched it on TV. On the course, they have like a back like a restaurant suite area. So
did NASDAQ pay for everything?
Oh yeah, big weekend. Like
corporate credit card swipe.
Super exclusive. It's so exclusive that you have your ticket and you don't need a card the rest of the week. All your food and everything's paid for. Like you just eat, no bill. Drink, no bill. Like this whole place, like you can go to 5, 6 different restaurants, eat, drink, and just leave. Like you tip, obviously, but you can just get up and go.
Of course, can't forget about the tipping.
But then when Spieth choked, real quick, I mean, it was almost a given that he was going to win. So we marched out at really early in the morning, like 6, whenever they open the gates, and you can't run at Augusta. They yell at you. So we ran. We got to the gate, and then we just basically power walked for 2 miles across the course. and right up the 18th fairway, it's that a little bit of a dogleg right. There's like woods on the right side, so like I dip down into the woods, sprint over, start fighting people for spots because you literally have these chairs. You put them anywhere. Like you can literally put them around the 18th green. They have spots that you line them up, so you can literally be on the rope if you get there first, which is pretty cool. But I was walking from 17 to 18. Spieth was on 12, and you heard rumblings that Spieth was in the water. And you have a side note is you don't have any cell phones. You can't bring any electronics there. So it's really like just the way that the game used to be. It's nice to not have any of the electronics, but people were saying he's in the water. So I'm like, all right, like he'll lose a couple strokes. Maybe he'll only be like 1 or 2 up. I think he was like 4 up at this point. And then they posted his score, and he went from like 5 under to like 1 over, something like ridiculous. And people, like, you would have thought somebody got shot, like screaming their heads off, like, oh my God. So Spieth was done after that. He didn't even really have a chance. Danny Willett ended up winning that year. But yeah, it's really interesting to go there, and the atmosphere is electric. I mean, being there the Sunday that I was there when Spieth choked, we saw 3 hole-in-ones on the 16th hole. So,
yeah, it's definitely one of those events that like will stick in your mind forever, and like I definitely want to get down there. I'm sure the other guys do too. Yeah. It's so iconic, especially in the sport world.
You see people you can't even we walked by Mayor Bloomberg from former Mayor of New York. Timu Solani was there with his wife, just like chilling, watching Tiger putt on the practice green. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's just the way the game should be. And, it's so nice to like be able to just sit there and enjoy golf the way it's meant to be. Like the roar coming up the hill when there's a hole-in-one or an eagle or a big birdie putt. It's something that like I've never experienced before in my life.
Yeah, no, definitely. It sounds awesome. But
definitely a bucket.
All right, yeah, all right, boys. I think it's about time to wrap up.
You didn't even talk about Tiger.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Tiger.
I thought you. All right, you want to mention? All right, talk about Tiger.
Is Tiger back, Schropp? That's the question. Just answer that question.
I just want to say, I hope he's not back because everyone's gonna get back. Everyone slobs on his knob 24/7, and he hasn't been good. Everyone says, "Oh, I want to see him beat Jack Nicklaus." But bro, he hasn't been the same. All right, he actually has since his whatever that.
Yes,
what was
you're right.
All right.
He's been world number 1 since then, though. Side note.
Okay.
He just hasn't won. He hasn't won a major since that whole debacle.
It's just crazy what like the amount of following that he gets in my mind. Just like I was working on Sunday and like people come up to me like, "You see Tiger?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, and then he's like, "Oh, like he's won back." I'm like, no one has ever cared about a golfer in my mind this much, like ever. Or at least in our lives.
He transcended the game. There's literally nobody like. For example, viewership numbers were literally the highest ever, tied for the highest ever in British Open history. The last time they were this high was when he completed his career Grand Slam in 2000. So, like, that's just an example of how many people watched this Sunday.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Tiger's Tiger. He's always going to be that iconic player, whether he's 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. He's going to be out there.
He's going to win another one?
He's going to win at least one more.
Schropp?
I could agree with that. I think he's got one more in the tank.
And when he wins one more, it's going to be the highest viewer rating ever.
I feel like now I need to say no because everybody else is saying yes. Oh man,
that's fair. I like it.
I feel like it'll be a great story if he does. I'll go no, he won't win a major. I'll say no.
Will he win another tournament though, Tommy?
Maybe that's the story that I see. I do see in some scenario.
maybe that's
in some scenario. I see him like winning it being a big deal. Like, wow, he'll win a tournament. Yes, I don't think
he'll win a major. Okay, fair point. So he's
championship.
Even though we have no way of really putting a timetable on this because I guess however long he lasts. So hopefully we're doing this show for the next 5 years. But
20. Exactly. Phil's what, 50? Over.
He could. I just know the poor Tiger in his back. It is.
If the back holds up, he wins. If the back starts doing what it's been doing, he doesn't.
How do I get one of those Maurice and Jacko tees?
You want one?
Yeah.
What size you want?
Large, please.
Only if you wear it on the podcast, Schropp, and fix your camera.
Fix your camera.
No, dude. My camera's fine. I'm just in a secret location.
Yeah, he's in a secret location. Guys, come on.
Insider.
Drop. I have large, extra large, and double XL. I think. I don't actually. I meant XL and double XL. I think I'm out of large, but I'll check.
All right, I'll wear a dress.
All right, that's fair.
All right, boys, we'll close it out here.
Hold on, I got a pick, dude.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Shop's got a pick, but I got a little exercise if we want to do some MLB picks before.
All right.
Shop, do you have anything before? I got a little thing for us.
LA Galaxy over LAFC on Thursday night. El Tráfico.
Hang on, I'm putting this down.
I write it down. Right there.
Zlatan and LA Galaxy will win on the quote-unquote road. LA Galaxy will win on the quote-unquote road in LA Football Club.
I'm taking LAFC. I don't even know what's going on.
I love it.
I'm taking the opposite side of that bet because LAFC is fucking gritty. I have a friend that
nasty.
And he says, like, that's like the fucking, like, LA Galaxy is like a bougie event. You have to get all dressed up. You're sloppy. You go to you get fucked up at the LAFC games, and it's a fucking rowdy crowd. So I'm taking FC at home. Let's fucking go.
Head to head, baby.
You guys are locked in. I got it down. And let's just finish up with a quick. So, I mean, there's soccer going on. The only thing going on is baseball. So what I did is I quickly eyeballed a few good matchups this weekend in baseball. So I'm going to pick one day and one game each day for the weekend, and we're going to each pick all three, and we'll see who does the best out of the three. So starting on Friday night, the game that I picked on paper is the Brew Crew versus the San Francisco Giants. Two decent teams that are in the hunt here. We're also not going to go off pitchers because the pitchers are still up in the air at this point. It's Tuesday, Monday. I don't even know what day it is. But all right, so give me your picks for the Friday game. Brewers, Giants. Brewers at Giants.
Brewers win.
I'll go San Fran here.
Wow.
Are we picking over on? No, none of that shit's out yet.
We won't do that. Let's just.
I see probables.
No
probables.
If you see anything, give it to me. I didn't see anything.
I see Chase Anderson versus Bumgarner.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm sticking with the Brew Crew.
I love it.
Can't change your mind on the show.
I'll go Giants. Even though last time Bumgarner played the A's, he lost. So I don't know.
I'm gonna go against Bumgarner. I don't think he's been as dominant.
Oh,
that's because he's not a Yankee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Brew Crew legit too. So I'm gonna go with the Brew Crew. All right, next game, Saturday game. A reminder, so like these are obviously 3-game series. We're picking the individual game every day. So Friday we got the Brewers Giants game. Saturday we got Mariners at Angels. Division showdown. 2 possible wild card teams. Tough one. Who you got?
I see Felix Hernandez versus Jaime Barria.
Oh man,
I'm taking the Angels because Tim Felix is ass now.
I'll say that.
I'm going Mariners.
All right.
He's back. Drop. I agree. King Fields is not good at it.
I agree.
But
we'll go with the Mariners. I think they're a little deeper right now.
My boy Jeet Segura,
But the best players on the other team, though. But that's okay. I'll go with Seattle.
Are you picking Chicago and St. Louis for Sunday Night Baseball?
No, that's not a bad one. I just think the Cardinals are very terrible right now. So
I was just going to say, they literally play. The Cubs are on Sunday Night Baseball every freaking week.
They really are. But I'm not doing it just in case we record on Sunday. I was going to pick that one, actually. But I do have my Sunday game is Dodgers at Braves, which should be a good series, I think, because I think the Braves are better than people think. Could give the Dodgers fits. What do you guys think?
Ross Stripling versus Sean Newcomb.
Bunch of nobodies on the mound. Can't pick the Braves, so I take the Dodgers.
Who is it? Newcomb?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's good, I think, actually.
So is Ross Stripling, actually. Ross Stripling made the All-Star team.
Oh, shit, yeah, my bad.
I'm
taking Dodgers because Manny Machado's Bay.
All right, so we got 2. All right, I'll go Braves then.
Bro, never mind.
What? Well, let's drop.
I will go Dodgers.
All right, now we got it. Our outro has to be the Tomahawk Braves shop.
Guys, great episode.
Yeah, Mariggs, get on that.
Great episode.
Wait, what did he say?
This is how we're going out.
Braves Tomahawk shop.
Boo.
Freddie Freeman and MVP.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
All right, boys. We'll see you next week. Thurman in.
Good fucking shit.
Maybe my camera will be working by next time.
Yeah, get out of that secret location. All right, later.